So, I'm sure a lot of you are watching football today. There's no doubt, especially if you got the NFL Plus subscription or you have NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube. You're watching football. You're watching all the games that are on there, including tonight's game on Sunday Night Football on NBC. And speaking of tonight's game, what's interesting is how when you go to the information for it, when you go on your television guide and everything, and you go to the information for it, what it describes about the game. You see, tonight's Sunday night game is between the New York Jets and the Las Vegas Raiders. And what's described, as far as my Xfinity cable is concerned, what's described is the fact that tonight they're going to be marking it, starting tonight and for this week going into Friday, because this Friday is the actual date and everything. They're marking tonight and this week as the 55th anniversary of the infamous Heidi Game. Now you might say, well, what's the Heidi Game? Well, it's been documented a lot across here on YouTube and other various places. And I'm sure NFL Network might have something on it this Friday, maybe. We're not really sure. And I'm sure during the Football Night in America pre-show, they'll talk about it as well, and even talk about it during the broadcast. But what the infamous Heidi Game, though, is, just to get you guys up to speed, real quickly. The infamous Heidi Game was a game on November 17th between the Jets and then at the time Oakland Raiders that got cut off, prematurely to basically air the Heidi movie. That is why it has the name infamous Heidi Game. Because of the fact that NBC back then on November 17th, 1968, decided to, cut off I don't know how much of the game was left remaining, but they decided to cut off the game in favor of showcasing the Heidi movie. And you have to realize that at the time, network executives at places like NBC, ABC, CBS, and so on, their mindset was a lot more different than what it is today when it came to football. You see, to them, broadcasting sports, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever the case may be, college sports, they knew people would be tuning in and watching, but to them, people wouldn't be tuning in as much as they would for a movie. And because of that, they looked at sports, whether it's pro or college, as being beneath them. And so unless, they didn't have anything else planned, they would basically, show the full game, college or pro, to the very end. But if they had something else planned, then they would favor that other thing over the sports. And that's what happened on November 17th, 1968. They decided to favor the Heidi movie over the Jets and the Raiders. So even though people got to watch the game, they didn't see it completed. They didn't see it, get finished. They didn't see, a winner and a fully finalized official result. They had to read about it in the newspaper, or they had to wait until the news came on later that night or after the Heidi movie or whatever to get the results. So to say fans were not happy, would be an understatement, because, fans basically, from what I understand, flooded the local newspapers, the national newspapers, with phone calls and thought I heard something there, with phone calls, with phone calls and mailings, they flooded the local NBC networks and, even NBC itself with a lot of, basically disdain and disgust over what they did. That's what happened. So, to say they were not happy about what occurred would be an understatement. So that's why tonight's game, kind of has a little important significance, because this week marks 55 years since that happened, and that is why NBC is showcasing the game, not just because of, hey, these teams still have playoff admirations and all that, but mainly because of the significance of the fact that their network still has to live with the historical fact that they screwed up back in 1968, on November 17th. But yeah, I just thought I'd let you guys know about that and why that game's being broadcast, as it is, and has the description it does. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you've heard about the infamous Heidi Game. What were your thoughts on it when you first heard about it? And until next time, guys,